humanity. It's April 6th, 2020, and it's 10 a.m. in Tucson. What time is it where you're living? It doesn't matter because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, my name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
Hello, Bev.
Hello, crazy Paul.
Oh, and it's been a crazy morning. My gosh, I mean, everything gave out and then it wouldn't go live and then it would go live and the computer shut down and the internet shut down.
Welcome to our
Oh,
world.
wow. The energy is moving, folks. So we're going to move some energy with you today because we're going to talk about biotouch and we're going to talk about why is biotouch practice touching another? That means another human being. We couldn't fit that in the
Right.
title, but we want to talk about that. And Bev and I were talking about this last week, and I was sharing with her a story, and that's sort of how this came up. Um, uh, it was Cesar Chavez's birthday this week, and he was the head of the farm workers movement that sort of got farm workers united and helped to understand, that they were an important part of our society and they should have the rights of good pay and not being sprayed with DDT and all kinds of things. Well, anyhow, I was involved in that movement. And I had the opportunity to go to a meeting with him. And there were only six other people. It was like in this little log cabin out in the middle of the fields. And I had this flash of he was going to ask if everybody spoke Spanish. And I just sort of thought inside, I have to be honest. Sure enough, I got into that little building with him and those other people. And the first thing he said was, does everyone speak Spanish? And I had to raise my hand, being the only one there, and said no. Well, because everyone spoke English in that room also as a second language, he spoke in English. And and it always, even to this day, had a profound impact on me about he understood communication, oneness, the oneness of language, and tried to and he just loved. That was about it. And in his love and compassion, he spoke in English so I could understand what was being said. And now I remember that because how biotouch is a very common language, for all humanity because it's touching on the skin. It's touching another human being.
Yeah, I love that story. And BioTouch, when we practice it, um, brings us into an inclusiveness that I have felt for a very long time. Part of our challenge, part of our conditioning as a group, humanity, we have all bought into some kind of a illusion that we are these individuals. You're special or you're this or you're that. And the truth is, the only thing that's special about us is our togetherness, our connectedness. That's what makes us special, not this isolation. It's interesting that we're using that word because this isolation that we're undergoing, um, maybe a lot of that is to say, even though, and we've practiced this in the last 6 months since I've been here, even though you're physically apart, that connectedness of our higher selves is does not have anything to do with physical distancing. This is a whole thing. And when we start talking about biotouch, people are like, oh yeah, but what if I'm alone? What do I do biotouch? Well, biotouch still holds this concept, this great divine idea in our minds that it's universal. Our togetherness is universal. And so we have to, this is a time now when you and I are, really stepping out there and reminding, which is part of BioTouch's gift, reminding us all in this deep connectedness um, that has ever been. It's just, it is. We've just always been. So, you know,
Right, and I think that's the key in the sharing of biotouch on that real physical level is that we're touching on the skin another human. That's the what we say is that's the most consistently effective way to do
right.
that. We've also been sharing with people just if you're just home alone, think of somebody doing it on you or
Yeah.
think of doing it on someone else. And that's the next best thing we can do, but the power of biotouch in touching another human being compared to a lot of these other healing things that we do, whether it's meditation or yoga or chanting or a lot of these, or self-healing techniques, they can be isolating, just
Yeah.
like you were talking about that they separate ourselves. Even the idea of you've got to love yourself. And I'm always thought about, well, who is the self in relation to the other? There's this thing about, love the neighbor as thyself and love the Lord thy God. So it's sort of like God, self, and other are all the same, and biotouch brings that together. The minute you touch at the base of that solar breastbone in that solar plexus, it's like this
Mhm.
power thing, just whoom, and all these so-called separations are allowed to come together. But we don't. It's not about a mind thing. You don't have to think about it. It just seems to happen on its own.
Yeah, when you're given all these edicts and do this and do that and love this and love that, well, that's something that is almost like outside of ourselves. But if when you're in the presence of another human being and you're practicing biotouch, as we've said many times, you have an opportunity to just be.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you're being asked to do. It doesn't come into your consciousness. Just the fact that you're reaching out with those two fingers and lightly touching on the skin is an act of being.
Right.
There's nothing to do or to
Yeah.
think or
I,
to,
it's wonderful,
integrate.
right? It always reminds me of when we did the research with Gary Schwartz, and he was sort of blown away by the data, and he just kept saying, biotouch is so simple, it's almost silly.
Silly. Yeah, I love it. Oh, silly.
And
Yeah, let's play with biotouch. It's silly.
right, and that's and we talked about it when we were talking the other day. It lets us be silly. Like whenever I get in front of a group of people to teach, and I say even jerks can do it, and I've proven it because I'm one of the biggest jerks on the planet. It's like, for some people they go, "Oh no, you're an all kind, loving person." I'm like,
Right.
"You don't know me."
If you did.
and yet I am a kind, loving person. And
Yes.
biotouch allows us to be our total humanness. We are kind, loving, and caring, and we're also a jerk, SOB, and can be angry and lustful sometimes. That's our
Yep.
totality on this earth plane. Why do I have to separate part of myself in order to do healing work? That's what I
Well,
love about biotouch.
isn't that just the miracle and magic of biotouch for everything that we are and everything that we are not? It doesn't care. It doesn't care what you are and what you're not, and how conscious and how unconscious and all this kind of stuff. It just pierces through all of that ego and honors that highest sense of ourselves, because in that love, we're, as we've said before, you can't go get something that is so innate that you don't even recognize it. Maybe that's what's the challenge about biotouch.
Right.
It's so silly
Right.
because it's so integrated into our DNA for us to all have it.
Right.
We don't have to go searching for it. You have to discover something that's already present. That's the beauty of it. It
So
just comes out.
So we're trying to give biotouch back to humanity, folks. So we're trying to give it back to you out there. We can't. we can't talk about it enough. You just got to practice it. It's just taking two fingers and lightly touching on the skin, and the story will unfold itself. It's not about doing, as Bev just said, it's about self awareness. It's about observing myself in action in relationship to my surroundings. And that's all we have to do. It really is about just being as little children.
Yeah.
If you think about a little child, they're just, wow, they're just looking, they hear a noise up there and they watch a bee or something. They're just observant. We teach them to be discriminating. We teach them to like this and dislike that and trust this person and don't trust that, but BioTouch sort of takes us back to that ability to be, just do the points. Don't worry about what you're trying to heal or not heal.
Right.
Just watch the story unfold. The
Yeah.
body will heal if it's just loved. I mean, we just saw that little thing by Bruce Lipton again.
Wow. I know. I'll say it again. He's my hero, this
Yeah,
amazing scientist who is breaking through all of that, you know, uh, crystallized thinking in many ways. And what he said in that little video of his that really connected me with what we've been saying about BioTouch is that, yeah, it's about stress. And of course, what do we talk about? Oh my gosh, BioTouch is just the most amazing way to deal with stress and anxiety. But at the end, he says, well, you can get the stress under control. It's about immune system and it's about the cells growing, but there's only one way that you can come into a growing, and that's through love. And when he said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, BioTouch is effective with stress and anxiety, but the other gift that it brings at the same time is it actually, that's why we're saying it affects the immune system and all those cells because it speaks a language of love that stimulates the growth of those cells in
yeah.
ways that are just gorgeous and beautiful and light. This is who we are. It brings us back into our our whole divine
who
awareness.
who we
I mean,
are, right? And
you
that
know?
video is posted on our Facebook page if you want to see
Yes,
it. It's just a couple of minutes long, and
it's
so it's sort
perfect.
of we're the silly, simple people just presenting BioTouch. If you
Yeah,
want the stuff for the mind to understand what the hell we're trying to present here, then you can listen to the scientist and
right.
try to get what he's saying because he goes on and on. I mean, he understands it so much, but he tries to put it into language we can all understand. Then
Yep.
watch that, but then go back and do it. Just take those two fingers and touch another human being. Go to our website, share the website justtouch.com. Go to the Facebook. We're posting it. We're doing webinars. We're doing workshops in it. And we just want to make sure you learn how to do BioTouch because we love it and we think you'll love it too if you just do it. And it'll love you and love and be everywhere and love will be it'll be fluffing all over us
We need
droplet
that.
like droplets from the sky.
Yeah. Mana from the sky.
Mana from the sky. So,
Yeah.
we have some folks on here, Kayleen, Kai, and we have Charlotte with us. We have Lester with us. We have somebody that just posted that little video again. So, check us
Nice.
out. Come with us. Play with us. Be as a little child. Take our hand. Take our finger. Come with us. We
Really.
want to play with you. So,
I do want to say something. We're doing this while we're going through this, but when this is over, BioTouch, I've said it before, BioTouch is going to be there for all of us to use in this new, hopefully, this new world that we're going to create in love. That's it's just such an amazing path for us to be able to use in redirecting us. What do we want? We want love. We want to live in love. Come on, that's our innate thing. That's part of the BioTouch magic. It's going to be there. It has been here. We need to turn around and say, there it is. This is one of the ways that we're going to help recreate our world now by coming into relationship with each other.
So we always want to make sure in all that we teach you how to do it. These talks are worthless if it's just listening to Bev and I, even though we love hearing ourselves. But but let's teach you a point. Today we're going to learn how to do the I set.
Nice.
I seeing get who had but eyes before. BioTouch can help, folks. I've worked on macular puckers. I've worked on blind people who began to see. And if nothing else, just the eye strain. It can work for all of that. So let's look at that for a moment. We'll be right back with you.
The ear set may be used for any conditions affecting the ears, including problems
I
with
guess it's
balance
the ears,
and
not the
equilibrium.
eyes.
Step 1. On one side of the head, hold at X, which is just in front of the flap at the opening of the ear. On the opposite side of the head, touch points 1 and 2. Point 1 is at the indentation in the bone behind the ear, about 1/3 of the way down from the top of the ear. Adjust the fingers to be snug against the skull. Point 2 is a small indentation at the bottom of the ear directly behind the jawbone. Again, adjust the fingers so they are snug against the ear. Now find hold point X on the other side of the head, and in crossfire touch point 1, the indentation in the bone behind the ear, about 1/3 of the way down from the top of the ear. Then touch point 2, the small indentation at the bottom of the ear directly behind the jawbone. Finally, for step 2, in matching fire touch points 1 and 1, 2 and 2, X and X.
So there you go. I hearing get who had but ears before. Hey, and I love these. Every time we look at these videos, they're all family oriented. You notice that?
I know. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, take it to
perfect.
your family, folks. Bring it to your family. Help everyone learn it in your family. We have another workshop coming up, too. We have the Lyme disease with Jane Merrifield Beecher. She is actually part of a Lyme disease support group, also the head of the fibromyalgia group, and has been dealing with this disease for decades now, has really researched it before people even knew about it. And she's going to be our speaker and has been doing BioTouch for decades.
A long time.
Yeah. And the nice thing about her story is, something? I'm not sure it got rid of the Lyme disease, but it certainly helped her work with it, with all the side effects and the conditions that Lyme disease puts into the body.
Right.
So she'll be a wonderful speaker about the research being done with Lyme disease and how BioTouch has truly helped her and can help you. So join us. That's April 23rd. You're getting emails on those. If you're not on our email list, go to justtouch.com and just sign up to get the free ebook, first 10 pages, and that'll put you on our email list, or send us at office@justtouch.com and join us for these live streams and keep up to date with us, folks. We love communicating with you. So, Bev, anything else?
Oh, I think I've said enough.
Oh, never enough, Bev, never enough. So we're glad all of you got online with us. Keep posting your comments. If you have questions about BioTouch, how to apply BioTouch, how we can get BioTouch out to other people, put them up there. Put a comment, send us an email.
Please.
Yes, please do. And I guess we'll see you all next week, right?
We will.
We'll be here. I hope you will too. Bye-bye.
The ear set may be used for any...
This is what we want.
If pain has got you down and you live in town, take a trip down to Pima Street. The people down there are people who care. They will get you back on your feet. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand the healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action. I know you have heard these beautiful words. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Using BioTouch will help you so much. You'll never need anything else. Put love into action. Put love into action.